Do you know why is it important to have a functioning cadastral office? Well, let me take you back to the beginning of this year to Slovak Republic, where a cyber attack totally took out the whole cadastral system for 2 whole months. And what were the results? Banks couldn't approve mortgages. Notaries couldn't finalize the property transfers, and towns couldn't use the system for tax and fee purposes. This shows that the cadastral office is not only a registry of parcels, but it's a backbone of a whole state, and it needs to be maintained and kept up to date. Currently, the workers at the cadastral office manually go through the maps and they try to find the discrepancies and update them. They go through orthophotos and cadastral data and match them and review the maps. For one average town, it takes up to 50 hours of work to go through it all. There are more than 6,000 towns in Czech Republic. So if we calculate that, we get that it would take approximately 35 years to go through the whole Czech Republic, and we did not even take into account the fact that the cadastral data and cadastral maps are always being updated. So we asked ourselves how we could speed this process up, and we developed a system. Our application can do this process in just 10 seconds. And what's behind it? Artificial intelligence. We take the publicly available data, the cadastral maps and the orthophotos. We combine them together and create a whole new map. We then take pictures of every parcel in this map and run them through the convolutional neural network. The neural network classifies these images into 10 predefined categories. If there's a building in the orthophoto but not in the cadastral map, we have a good candidate for an unregistered building. To do this process on the whole Czech Republic, it would take some time. So we decided to take the advantage of the fact that the orthophotos are being updated only once over 2 years. And we've developed 2 modes, an update mode and a full mode. In the full mode, we download all of the orthophotos and the cadastral maps. We combine them and run them through the neural network. In the update mode, we only download the new cadastral maps. We compare them with the old ones, find parcels that have been updated, take the parcels and combine them with the already downloaded orthophotos, and then we run them through the neural network. The output of both of these processes then can be viewed in our application that we've developed.
So, to begin with, the user needs to log in and now can move on to the first step of our application, which is the search. Here, all that needs to be done is simply enter the town or village that has to be inspected. And in the result, there is a list of parcels with potentially unregistered buildings. Each parcel comes with a number and a corresponding picture. There is also a possibility to enter a note or choose a certain status for every parcel. The ones with the status contact owner can be exported into a table with an address of the parcel owner. There is also an option to directly access the cadastre for a certain parcel. The town and the parcel number are automatically filled in, allowing the user to look more in detail at the parcel information. Now we can move on to the second tab of our app, which is the statistics. It includes 2 charts. First one shows the trend in the unregistered buildings over time, and the second one shows the number of such buildings by town. Both of these charts can be filtered by a time period and by a region. Our application saves a significant amount of time and money by automating the processes that have previously been done manually. Through tracking, each user has a clear overview of status of every parcel, which allows the user to understand what actions need to be done next. And another quite important benefit is the financial impact, since the illegal or unregistered buildings often go unnoticed. They are therefore untaxed. By identifying such buildings, therefore, we can ensure the proper taxation. A similar approach has already shown quite significant results in France. In 2022, French authorities used AI and aerial images in order to detect undeclared swimming pools. As a result, the pilot project uncovered more than 20,000 of such pools and generated over 10 million euros in additional tax revenue. This real-world example shows us how beneficial financially such kind of a detection would be, and also how important this kind of work really is. And now back to our solution. Even though there are already several benefits, there is definitely still a room for improvement. First of all, in the future, we would like to not only detect the unregistered buildings, but also be able to verify whether the land type that is officially registered corresponds with what's actually going on. Also, we could focus on the incomplete records in the cadastre, which means, for example, when the building is actually bigger than what's registered there, or some building extensions that are missing from the official data. Even though now we are focusing on the cadastre, there is also an option for a wider integration of our system. It could be used, for example, by banks in the mortgage approval processes, or by real estate agencies, because it is important to know as many facts as possible when you're buying the property. Our goal is to update the cadastre in a smart way. And we offer a tool that would save time, money, and human resources. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now you are government officials.
Thank you for the presentation. So it's clear to me that the app is already running. Am I right? Or that was just the testing phase?
Yes, it is already running, but I think we still need to improve a bit the neural network to how Diana said, to improve, for example, the land type and to correctly classify, to correctly classify the land type, for example.
Okay, so did you already collect some feedback from the users?
Yes, we showed this app to one worker from a cadastral office, and she said she can imagine definitely to use it as one of the things they use for those reviews.
Okay, thank you. Then you also mentioned the fixing incomplete records. So do you have also some report where we could see which city has the old data?
Can you?
Yeah, you mentioned that you would like to also fix incomplete records. That was like one of the benefit of it. So do you also prepare some report where we could see like which city has old data?
By incomplete records, we actually meant more of a like cases when there is like there were some pictures of how does the cadastral map look like, and there are cases when the actual building that was built, it's like bigger than that rectangle that is in the cadastral map, and we would want to improve our app by actually it also depends on the neural network, basically. It's not about the how old the data is. It's about like training the neural network so that it would also detect if that said rectangle is like of the same size and shape as the building in the map. And as for the old data, we actually, Marta mentioned there that we have those two modes, which is like the full and update. And as long as the data is updated in the source that we're using, which is the website of the Czech Cadastral Office. So as soon as that data updates, we can see the changes between the old source file and a new one, and download just the changes.
Yeah, that I understand that, but my question was more like uh, the parts which are not updated. If I can like in some report see, okay, so I don't know, the whole Brno was updated, but yeah, the village next to Brno wasn't. So if I can see in some report which part are missing to be updated, if it's like part of that solution, so I can see, yeah, this is the correct because the update was like month ago, but I know for this specific village the update was done like a year ago.
Well, the update, they still build new buildings, so I think that it's not possible to have it fully updated. If that's the answer.
No, but
If I may. Yeah, sorry. Just to add, there was like in the statistics tabs that I was showing, there was also the date of the latest update. So far we've got only this. Like there is the date shown of when was the last update, but we could definitely add that to the functionality as a like proper report.
So if we are debating now if the administrative offices and regions of Czech Republic should be relying on this solution, I'm curious if you would be 100% confident that we can make like base decisions solely on this solution, or if the contract would somehow ask for some cross-checking nonetheless. In other words, is it bulletproof and we can really rely on it, or is it like a supportive material for us?
It is more like supportive material because you can't really see it from comparing all the photos and cadastral maps. Right now, they are doing the same thing. They say, okay, this is probably illegal building, but then they have to check it from other sources and sometimes even go to the city and check the house on their own.
So then the value, or like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but then it really is by most like accidentally finding something which isn't accurately reflected in our databases, right? Like those examples of the pools you showed.
Yes, it can definitely find something that isn't really illegal building or unregistered building, but we follow the steps they are doing now and we automate it.
So last one.
Okay, last one. Do you have any kind of measures of accuracy in your case? Just a number.
Now it's 95%.
That's cool. Pretty decent. And what about the costs, by the way? How much does it cost?
Well, we used Python, so it's free. And like the only thing is probably the storage of these pictures. And we found that it should be about 30 crowns per month. So it's not really expensive.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.